Hey everyone, it is Mr. Miller. If you're watching this, that means that you probably need some help with our timed essay about Columbus Day. So, anyway, let's get started. So, Columbus Day learning targets basically are I can understand the history of Columbus Day and I can understand the pros and cons of Columbus Day. For a brief history of Columbus Day, you need to watch this video, okay? It is from National Geographic, so it is actually very unbiased. It tells like the pros and the cons of the holiday. So, if you don't watch it, it's going to not make too much sense to you moving forward. So keep that in mind. So there are pros and cons of Columbus Day. So I have pulled out sources and files and pretty much put them on this little slideshow here, and I'm talking about it. So you should be able to kind of pull an argument from any of the things I've written. So some of the pros are for Columbus Day is Italians and Spanish. So people in Spain, Italy, and Italian Americans and Spanish Americans look up to Columbus as a hero. And there's not that many famous Italians and Spanish heroes, so they get their holiday. So people have someone to celebrate. So that's very important. Also, another pro of Columbus Day, or an argument you can make, lots of historical famous people did bad things. Like a lot of people know that Christopher Columbus was not very nice. But if you do get rid of Columbus Day, you'd have to get rid of a lot of holidays like President's Day because a lot of the presidents didn't do anything well, or Fourth of July because most of the founding fathers owned like slaves, things like that. I could make an entire list of all the holidays you'd have to get rid of if you got rid of Columbus Day. So keep that in mind. So that's how it goes. The cons are Columbus was not the first person to discover America. Native Americans were. He also was not the first European to actually find America. Vikings did. Another con is he enslaved a lot of native peoples and caused a lot of death through enslavement. Also, he brought to the Americas, North and South America, diseases which killed even more native peoples than Columbus and the Spanish as a whole did. Um, so it's something else to think about with that. And another pro, so I'm going through the pros again and cons again. The holiday gives many people a day off so they can relax. Um, Columbus was the first person to bring the entire world together. What I mean by that is that, like, yes, the Vikings did, find America and they did settle there, but they didn't do anything with it. And the Native Americans didn't reach out to Europe either. They just kind of stayed there. Columbus was the first person to actually bridge those two continents and bring them into the rest of the world, North America and South America. And that's actually very historically important, even if it is bad. Um, and Columbus was the first ever really to get the international trade system to happen. So like before, you couldn't get things from America because people didn't know that North and South America were really there, and now there's things being traded across the world. So, for example, like Europeans didn't have tobacco, they didn't have cigarettes. They're bad. We could make a whole list of things that probably wouldn't have made it back and forth from Europe to America and vice versa. So that's a huge deal. However, for cons, Columbus's goal was to actually go to Asia and to find like India and Japan and China, and he didn't do that. So I don't. You could say, well, why are we celebrating? It's kind of stupid. Many Europeans were exploring the world and that general area when Columbus, quote unquote, discovered America. That's why I put in quotation marks. If he did not discover America, someone else would have, and they would have taken the credit too. And to be very fair, we don't call North and South America like North Columbia and South Columbia. It wasn't actually named after Columbus. It was named after another man with the last name of America. So, also, the last thing is not everybody gets off for the holiday. Only certain people do. Like in Wisconsin, schools don't get off. I know in Illinois, schools do, but that's the only people that really get off in Wisconsin are like federal workers and depending. So keep that in mind, please. Thank you for your time as well. I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.